that shit gon' be packed. Pay me in advance to make sure that.
Hi everybody, I'm Jordyn Anese and I am from ThatsMyJAM90. I get the privilege to sit here with Eric Woodyard, the founder of FlintMadeMe, and also he is a journalist here at the Flint Journal for MLive. I get the chance to ask him a few questions today about FlintMadeMe and what his brand is about, so let's dig right in. You ready?
I'm ready, sure.
Okay, first off, we want to know, I want to know, I'm sure they want to know, what is FlintMadeMe? I mean, we got the t-shirts, we came here a little while back for a documentary on you, so we want a little explanation as to what is FlintMadeMe exactly.
You know, FlintMadeMe is not a brand, it's not a scholarship, it's a lifestyle. You know, when you're from the city of Flint, it's a lifestyle you take upon you. You know, it's like you prideful, you happy to be a Flintstone. So FlintMadeMe is everything that I have going on, everything anybody have going on. And we just kicking it off and drawing people into a bigger movement, you know, with the t-shirts. You know, the movement, it's growing into a movement, it's not a brand. And that's the difference. I'm not here to sell t-shirts, I'm not here to, you know, sell nothing to nobody. It's just coming along with the brand. And people believing in what I got going on strong enough, you know, to feel like Flint made them as well. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the city's been taking, you know, gravitating to it, from all the athletes, you know, Mark Ingram, Mateen Cleaves, Mo P, who had the privilege of wearing my fellow Flintstone jersey today. You know, the mayor, we had the mayor wear one on TV, so everybody in the city gravitating to it, and it's not one particular audience, it's spreading out to everywhere, it's all over the city. So that's what FlintMadeMe is, it's a movement.
Okay. Well, excuse me, because I can call it a brand, but it's a movement, ladies and gentlemen, a movement. Okay, so what brought about the vision for FlintMadeMe? Like, where did it all come from? You know, like, where did it start for you?
It started for me as a kid, you know, going and you know, watching all the athletes from Flint and seeing how, like, people always want to give back. You know, it's been over and over. It feels old saying it. It's always negative stuff about Flint, this and that, you know, but for me, my vision of Flint was so much different growing up. You know, I seen people coming back to give back to the city. You know, we was always being in the presence of athletes. You know, me and my cousin would go watch the program games, and, you know, all the Flintstones would bring back NBA players, so we would get exposed to NBA players for free, you know, as early as elementary and middle school, you know, so that's how it came about, and that was their way of giving back. And then also you just see people in the community doing things, want to give back, so, you know, that's how it came about, me doing that. And I just woke up one day like, you know, FlintMadeMe, what's the way I can give back? I launched a scholarship and did a documentary, sold the documentaries to raise money for the scholarship, and it just kicked off from that. It's kind of grew into something bigger, just like a snowball effect where everybody's, you know, just really gravitating to the movement. So that's how it came about.
Okay. And did you think that it would be moving as well as it is right now? Like when you first started, because you know everybody wants to start something and they get, you know, the jitters. They're like, I don't know, you know, people kind of funny, especially coming from Flint, because we talked about that already. You know, it's kind of negative. Sometimes you hear it a lot. Did you think that when you first started, when you first, you know, got into it, put your foot in it exactly when you put it in there, that it would be as dope as it is right now? Because it's moving, like it's moving fast, like literally snowball effect, like you said.
Honestly, you know, I didn't get into it like really worried about how it would. It sounds crazy, but I didn't get into it like with a specific vision. Of course, you know, I thought it would be big, but I didn't think like, you know, everybody would like gravitate to it. Like I said, you had the mayor wearing the product on television. That's a big deal. On live television at that, you know, for his mayor's challenge. You know, some of the business owners down here, the millionaires, everybody's gravitating to it. So when I got into it, I can't sit up and say that I saw it being like that, but I didn't see it like failing either. You know, I just kind of moved with my instincts, my good instincts. I heard a lot of criticisms. You're doing a documentary on yourself, but it was never about myself. It was like my life is a reflection of what the city is about. So, you know, my life being a reflection of what the city is about, everybody gravitated to it. And I mean, my resume speaks for itself. You know, I was at the time, I was coming into winning the big statewide award as a journalist. And I had a lot of positive things going on for myself. So it wasn't like a just random person. It probably wouldn't have hit as hard if it was somebody just randomly doing it that didn't have nothing going on. So, and it was a positive movement at the end. As a kid, two kids got a scholarship out of it. So, you know, it was something that just I took my gut instinct, and you know, it can get even bigger and better. I'm still on the growing stage. I'm by myself, raising a son. You know, doing a lot of things, but still pushing it. And FlintMadeMe is just everybody in the city that feels like they have something going on. So.
Okay. So at the end of the day, who is, besides your son, because I know he's a big deal, everybody who has kids, their kids are really but like besides your son, who is like the drive behind FlintMadeMe, and you wanted to see it blossom into what you wanted to be? Like, who pushes you to work?
It's like I said, my son, I gotta shout him out again. My son Ethan, he's actually 5 months today, so that's my baby boy, my firstborn. Probably my last one. I'm straight with one kid. He a handful, but I love him to death. You know, so my baby boy Ethan is also my grandfather. You know, I did this. If anybody watched the documentary and it's posted on YouTube now, Eric Woodyard FlintMadeMe. My grandfather. You know, my grandfather Horace Peterson. He's a big inspiration to me. He's been doing life in prison, and actually this whole movement has actually brought life onto his case. So we have some people doing some things for him. I can't reveal everything now, but you know, he might really get an opportunity from something I just did from my gut instinct and shout my grandfather out. You know, like I said, I talk to him all the time. That's my man. You know, we like that. You know, he locked up. He been in prison my whole life, 40-some years, but positive guy, great guy. And that's my main inspiration right now. I love him to death. I really want to do everything in my power to get him out. When he get out, he gonna make some noise, like for real. He gonna write books, documentaries. You think I'm doing something, he gonna take it to the next level, you know, so he's a great dude.
I remember you talking about him, because you know we go back, like me and you go back a little farther than what the camera might know. But I remember you always talking about him, and I'm like, dang, like one day something gonna happen, like, and it's gonna happen big for this man, because it wasn't only just you, it was you and your other family members bagging, you know, the story. So that's a really big deal. I want to talk about the day of the documentary. We going back a little bit, but. The day of the documentary, did you think that you would have the turnout you did? Because it was a really good turnout. I felt like I was on time, and I was really like 15 minutes late. But I felt like I was on time, and I had to sit in the back. I was like, this is not right, you know. But it was a great turnout. Did you think it was gonna turn out like that?
I didn't, honestly, and it wasn't even really the turnout. It was the quality of people that showed up. Cause and that was really how I wanted. I wanted a reflection of my life, which is why the documentary was so raw. I wanted it to be hood people from where I grew up and having to be. I wanted to be business executives. I wanted to be judges. I wanted to be everybody. So, you know, we had all facets of everybody in here, Flint community school people. We had, you know, a lot of people. I didn't expect it to be like that, but I didn't cut myself short either. Like I said, when you're doing something from your gut instinct, sometimes you're gonna hear like all the negatives. And it took, people don't realize, it took so much like to get that done, and it wasn't even fully done how I wanted it to be, but I fought for it. I had a lot of adversity, you know, in the process of doing that. A lot of people don't know, you know, one of my family friends was murdered. My other close friend was taken to jail on the same week. So a murder, same week, you know, he's going to jail. On top of me finding out I'm having my kid. On top of my parents, you know, they were going through a tough situation with a divorce, and, you know, just adjusting to all that, and still trying to keep this positive thing going on. People, you know, not being on the same page with me. I'm hearing all the criticisms, and I just stuck to my gut instinct. And, you know, it left a great movement, you know, to where BET and the Source Magazine and all these people, you know, ended up doing stories, which was never my intent. It was really to give back, you know, so it accomplished what it was supposed to. Back to your question, I didn't expect it to be that many people. It shocked me.
Yeah, because I walked in here and I was like, I seen people with food. I'm like, is it any more left? There's so many, because it was like people up here. It was people in the back, like in the back of the building. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was amazing. Though. I was like, that was so big.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I gotta ask, because of course my website is about, you know, being positive and giving off some positive and dreams and believing in your dreams. So if somebody asked you for some positive advice or words of encouragement, somebody that was coming up and trying to do something positive, what would you tell them?
My main thing is, you know, you're not gonna, sometimes a vision don't just come to you right on top. It takes a while for you to see where you wanna be. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't see myself being an award-winning journalist. I didn't see that. You know, I thought I would be playing in the NBA. I don't know what. I thought I was gonna play basketball or sports or something. I didn't see myself being in this position, so I was always just open to advice. You know, so at this age, even if you don't know what you want to do, always be open and listen. I had a cousin who was a stone cold alcoholic, sloppy drunk, but I took the positives he told me. He punched me in my chest, go in that crib before it get dark. You know, I had people, not necessarily professionals, but just street smarts and knowing right from wrong and pushing me in the right direction. So, you know, that listening to advice, no matter where it came from, that helped me. And just keeping a positive attitude. You know, everything, I feel like you really find out who you are when you hit that bottom. You know, so it's how you come off. You come off swinging, or you can sit back and, you know, let it dampen your dreams. But you gotta just stick to it. And if you have a dream, you have to be so tunnel vision and block out all the negative stuff, because you're gonna hear it. Because most of the time, the people you're around not doing what you're doing. So, you know, they might think you're on the same level as them, but at the end of the day, if you tunnel vision and got your ideas in place and everything, you gotta just block out what they saying and do what you gotta do. Take the criticism, take the bumps, and just do what you want to do, because it's gonna work out in the end. That's what happened for me. You know, I hung around a lot of people that probably wasn't doing the stuff that I was doing, But then again, they weren't making the decisions I was making in the beginning of my days. I might mess around with them and have fun, but in the beginning of the day, I'm taking care of my business. I deserve to have fun at the end of the day. So, you know, that's some of the advice I got. Just if you got a dream, you know, stay tunnel vision, listen to advice, and you know, just try to be the best you can be. It sounds cliche, but I mean that's the secret to
That's the
success.
truth, but that's the real true thing, because when you don't, you start listening to the criticism, you start, you know, feeding into the personal distractions of life.
Second guessing yourself.
Yep, and then second guessing yourself, like, do I really deserve this? Am I supposed to do it? So I think I agree with that advice. I do have a question as far as music goes, because I know we have one of the same favorites.
Yeah.
I know Tupac Shakur is your
great.
favorite,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I want to know for you, has any of his lyrics, any of his song lyrics inspired you, and which song or which lyric inspires you the most?
Well, my favorite album, I mean, you know, everybody know, like, I feel like his most popular album was probably All Eyes on Me, but the realest album he ever released to me was Me Against the World. And that was his third album. It's like when he really started emerging into Tupac. So, I mean, you gotta go with the title song, Me Against the World. It was so many. I mean, that whole album is just a playthrough. I can listen to it, you know, all the way through. You know, he hit on every touch. He hit on every subject, like, you know, from everything. And that's one of the things that's missing from hip hop. You know, there's only a few artists that's still doing it. Right now, I mean, I only really listen to like new artists. I listen to J. Cole. You know, it's a couple artists, like new artists I listen to. It's a couple songs I like, but just overall, they just make good music. There's not a lot that's left out this new era. You know, I started with Jeezys, Kanye's, and people that started established, but I'm talking about like the new era, you know. But yeah, that whole CD it inspired me, and then I mean, I listen to a lot of old stuff like '70s music, like just Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? You might hop in the car with me. I'm playing anything, and that's another thing. I don't care what nobody's saying. I just follow my heart and do what I want to do. So.
And I also know your basketball favorite is Kobe.
For sure.
And I know you met Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
So when you met him, did you have that conversation? Did he give you anything that pushed you towards the envelope? Or
the thing that stuck out about that with me, I was a college intern. I was working for the Flint magazine, and another criticism when I got there, you know, I had a flip camera. I was like, I want to get Kobe to say something to the Flint magazine, hold the magazine. So people like, Kobe don't talk to the media. He don't do this. He don't do that. So once again, I'm tunnel vision. I'm me. I'm gonna get it done. You know, I'm from Flint. I'm a Flintstone. That's how we do. We thinking positive. So I go in there. I'm just cool. I actually had on some Kobe's that I didn't even really realize I did. So I was talking to Derek Fisher, who was the point guard for the Lakers at the time. He seen my shoes, like, man, them some of the dopest shoes ever. You know, so you know, that kind of transition when Kobe got done. I talked to him. You know, we wrapped it up, and after that though, it was crazy because he was leaving out and going to the to the tunnel because they had like a back-to-back game to go to New Jersey or something. I was like, all right, Kobe, shook his hand. He's like, all right, Eric. He remembered my name. So that, I mean, it's great players like just pay attention to details. You know, that was one of the things that stuck with me. He didn't necessarily say something, but just how you pay attention to details, like just little stuff like remembering people's names and, you know, just little stuff like that. It takes little stuff like that to be great too. It's not always the big stuff. So.
Especially when he's being so big, and then you hearing like, you know, he don't do press, he don't do all that, and he actually shook your hand, like, cool. You felt like you was doing it.
I got an interview out of him, Sherwin, and got him to shake my hand, so it's cool.
You did. You actually did do it.
I wasn't nervous or nothing, you know. By that time, I was already like kind of dealing with athletes, but my first time I was like super nervous. But by the time I got around to Kobe, I was good.
That's what's up, because I remember you always talking about him though, like all the time when I used to be around y'all. Like, this dude is really into Kobe. Yeah. Like I knew for sure, like Kobe and Tupac. I'm like,
yeah, Kobe, my guy.
They had to have some type of inspiration somewhere.
Yeah,
because music, at the end of the day, music kind of motivates everybody. But you know,
I think music does. You know, it gets you through the days. You know, so that's another reason why I like the '70s music, because they like told stories. It's not even necessarily the song all the time. It's like the storytelling in it as well. And like Kobe, I mean, he one of the most dedicated players of all time. It speaks for itself. The same as like a Floyd Mayweather. I mean, they so dedicated at the beginning of the business so long. Just watching them, you know, is definitely
Muhammad Ali, all of them, like they so serious about what they do. It's real inspirational.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I definitely understand. I definitely feel you. So my last question is, though you kind of already answered it through the other questions, how did Flint make you?
Flint made me everything I am. Swagger, the confidence, the way I talk, you know, everything. Flint made me. I mean, it's really something I believe in, and it's something that so many other people believe in. That's kind of motivated me to keep it going. You know, like it's something that people really believe in. A lot of times when I'm interviewing athletes, they don't even realize it. They might say, "The city made me," or "Flint made me." It's not throwing a shout out to me. It's like how they really feel. You know, after Anthony Durrell just won his belt, I'm interviewing him, and you know, him not even realizing it. he the WBC champion. You know, Flint MadeMe. These other reporters asking him like, you know, how did you feel about this, or you know, how do you feel about the city? And they just, you know, I kind of take on that same thing. Like it's like a lifestyle you live. It's like a fraternity. Like you from Flint, boom. You know, I done met Isaiah Thomas and all these top legendary athletes or anywhere. And if you say you from the city of Flint, it's a certain level of respect they give you. So that's how Flint made me. I'm a kid from Summerfield, Longfellow, Southwestern, you know, Avenue B, Fifth Ward of Flint. I'm all of that rolled into one, you know. A father now, a son, a brother. You know, I take pride in all that, and everything about me is from the city of Flint. So that's why I feel like Flint made me.
And at the end of the day, a businessman to say the
Right.
least. That's what's up. I appreciate you.
No problem. No
You
problem.
agreeing to my interview.
Oh, anytime.
So,
you know, like you say, we go way back. Southwestern.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I have a gift.
For sure. I gotta wear my shirt too. So.
I come with gifts.
Yeah. I gotta wear this. I'm gonna throw this on now, so to just show you I'm serious about it. Thank you. I appreciate it for real.
Anytime.
It's a dope shirt.